I'm about to share with you an industry secret. How to properly structure your cakes so that they are, one, sound when you are traveling with them. Two, you can easily assemble and stack them and move them around. And three, the bride and groom cut into it without it crumbling and falling apart on top of everyone. Now, I use it inside of this cake. I use that same structure in this cake, in this really big 4-tier cake, and exactly the same structure inside of this cake. Now, this structure is widely used by most baking professionals, and I would say take some notes. This changes the game. Here is a bit of an X-ray vision of what that structure is going to look like. We're going to buy ourselves some dowel sticks. Your thicker one in the center, which is red color in this photo, will be at least 1 centimeter in diameter, and it's going to go from halfway up your top tier all the way down to your base board. Okay, you're also going to use a very thick baseboard. These baseboards are at least 1 centimeter thick. Okay, the boards you're going to use in between will be the cardboard boards, and you're going to put a hole in each of your cardboard boards that is a little bit bigger than your red center dowel stick. So when you structure your cake, you're going to start at the base. You're going to use your thicker board. You're going to place, let's say, a 10-inch cake on there. Now, depending on the size of your bottom tier, you will be using at least 4 to 6 dowel sticks. These dowel sticks, I usually use them, they're a little bit thinner than the center one. But depending on the structure, how you need to travel with it, you might want to use the same thickness dowel sticks as it shows in this X-ray vision cake here. So you're going to use your thick board, place your cake, put 6 dowel sticks minimum in it. Also depends on how many tiers you got going up. The next layer, the next tier, will be decorated on your cardboard board with the hole in it. You're going to place that neatly in the middle, and then you're going to do your next tiers depending on how many tiers you're doing. Before you place your final tier, the top tier, you're going to put your dowel stick, the thick red one in the picture, into the center. If you have lined everything up, and this is why you're going to do the circle in the middle of your cardboard board slightly bigger, you're going to have lined them up perfectly, and you're going to put your thick dowel stick right through the middle of it. Now, I personally like to sharpen the bottom of my middle dowel stick so that it goes into my board just slightly to create a little bit more structure. But if you have sharpened it, you don't want to be banging on it to go basically right through your board, because it can crack that thicker board in half. Okay, this is just a tip. So now you have structured all of it, you've left the top tier out. You're going to make sure that the amount of dowel sticks sticking out here at the top is at least half the height of your top tier. You don't want that dowel stick to go right through your top tier. And then I place it right on top, so the main dowel stick goes right into halfway up into your top tier. Does that make sense? Now, I like to create a lot of structure, so I'm not only putting this red center one in, I'm also putting in, if you've got a 10-inch, I'm putting in 6 extra dowel sticks. Then let's say this is an 8-inch, you're putting in 4 to 6 dowel sticks. For this top one, this is at your own discretion, and I think it depends on what type of sponge you use and how soft it is. I would use straws at the minimum. Like this one here, straws will keep still a nice structure to your cake, just in case. So here's a bit of an idea of what all of this is going to look like. You would have cut these shorter, the 4 dowel sticks sticking out of that specific tier. You'll make sure that your center dowel stick is cut halfway what your top tier is going to be, and then you're going to put your top tier on there. And that is how you're going to properly structure your wedding cake like a real professional. If you have another way of doing it, please let me know. But I have found this to be so structurally sound that I can travel with a 3-tier wedding cake all the way to the venue. Yes, I wouldn't do more than 3, but I have done it and it really is structurally sound. So let me know what you think and let me know what method you use.